Hi, hello. This is Anup here, and in this video, what we are going to see is Windows 11 Task Manager. What are the differences in Task Manager, and what are the things Microsoft added to the Task Manager? Let's go through it. So first thing first, efficiency mode. So that is a good thing, I think, for most of the applications. If we can put that into the efficiency mode, it will consume less processing power as well as power. The power consumption will be very less. That would be useful. Let's see how to enable, how to disable efficiency mode in a bit. The initial task manager came out with Windows 2000 or NT versions, right? So this is what Microsoft updated in one of the webcast they had, right? And I have a blog post with all these details. I will link that blog post to this video, description of this video. So I'm not going to go through what is task manager, etc., right? This is the production version task manager in Windows 11. So what I'm going to talk about today is the insider build at the moment, the task manager version, which I'm going to show. That is an insider version build, but I'm hoping that it will soon come to the production build. So there are different ways to launch task manager. I in this scenario, I'm going to use Control Shift Escape keyboard shortcut. That is what I'm going to use. That is what I did. So this is a task manager, and you can see the dark mode is there, a dark theme is there. This thing is called heat map, right? How the processor, how the memory resources are being used by each of the processes, right? That is what you can see in the heat map. So heat map color also we can change. We'll go to get into that soon. Let's check the other way to launch the task manager. Right click on the start button and then launch the task manager from there. That is another option. We talked about the dark theme. So we can change the themes actually of the task manager. So for example, if I go to settings and let me bring back the task manager as well and minimize it a bit. So now I'm using this particular theme in the personalization, right? So if I want to change it to some other thing, for example this one and this one, everything is task manager is also kind of changing automatically the themes. Okay, so see the settings menu is changed and the task manager theme is also changed, right? And it's the same for the other versions, other themes also. Okay, so that is very very useful and very pleasant, I would say. I like the dark mode, so I'm going to keep that in, and I'm going to go into colors. And over here, there are other options. So there you can select choose your mode as custom, and then if you want to keep task manager as light theme, then you can do that, right? But the Windows theme will be the same. Application mode will be light. Okay, I don't like this, so I'm going to switch back to the dark mode. And the other point here is the accent color, right? That is where heat map is shown. That is what heat map is shown. Now this is red, and accent color is what's shown in the heat map. So let's click on the blue one. That will automatically change the color of the heat map. That is interesting, right? You can make it green, you can make it some other colors also if you want. That's good. So I'm going to keep it as blue for now, and then go back to the documentation here. So we checked how to change the color, theme, etc., and what is the heat map color, how to change that. we have we have seen that. Now let's check two other things, right? Hamburger menu and left navigation pane. That those are the those are some of the biggest changes. As you know, in the initial task sequence, this is the current version, right? This is the current version of the task sequence, and you can see the menu layout is different. There's no hamburger menu in the existing Windows 10 and 11 task manager. And over here in the insider version with the new task manager design, you have that hamburger menu. You can click on that and that will get expanded, and you can see the the text details, right? Processes, performance, all these pages will be displayed. If you click one more time on the hamburger menu, that will show only the icons of the pages. Okay, so that is one of the change. And the tab option, file option, view, that has got changed. This left menu is called left navigation pane. Bar is called command bar in the new task manager. So this is called command bar, and from here you can open the run if you want, and you have other options like end task, efficiency mode, and there's a option to view, change the view of it, right? This is only for the processes page. Okay, so for each page we will have different options. So over here, if you check, you have an option to copy, and you can launch the resource monitor also from here. Okay, that is for the performance. In the performance, it is all same details. You can see all the details like how many logical processes are there, what is the utilization of the processor, and what is the speed, how many processes are there currently running, how many threads are there, etc. Right? What is the uptime of this particular PC, Windows 11 PC? All those details are there for the CPU. And for the memory, you can see how many slots are there available, or at least supported, right? Not available in this particular probably motherboard, but supported by the chipset. It doesn't mean that you can purchase two RAM modules and put it in the free slots. Maybe there won't be any free slots available. That is what happened with this PC, right? Or this laptop. In this laptop, I only have two slots in the motherboard, but Windows, it shows the chipset supports four slots. But the vendor of the motherboard and laptop, they didn't provision four slots, right? So you cannot do that. So it is always better to confirm with the vendor whether there are four slots available for RAM or only two slots are available, etc., etc. Right? And same for the disk, Ethernet, GPU, etc. Right? Um, Now let's go to the app history tab, and you can see in the app history, you can see only the App Store related applications. Why? Because the other applications are not enabled. To enable other application or to see other applications resource usage history, then you need to go to the settings page. We'll come back to the settings page later, but just to show this, show the history of or history for all processes. Click on this, then go back to the history, and you would be able to see the edge came back, right? And I cleared the data usage history of the applications today. That is why it shows us it's already cleared and it is available since for from today. Right? By default, I think it will keep this usage data for 3 months, and then it will get roll over automatically. Otherwise, you can delete it from here. Okay. So heat map is here also. And if you want, you have other options. You can click on one of the column and you can add additional columns if you want. Download options, see, download options are here. What does the download happened for Edge, through Edge, etc. Right? That is very useful data, I think, for some scenarios. Now the startup. This is where we can set, okay, this should be part of the startup. This application should not be part of the startup. And for this also, you can add CPU at startup, running now, all those columns that would be able to, that would help us to help you to troubleshoot further, right? You can enable, disable. For example, this is automatically enabled. I want to disable it, so I can right click and disable it. These are Citrix workspaces. I can disable it, and you can see startup type, from where that trigger is coming. It's come, most of the applications, it's coming from the registry. The only one that is coming from folder is OneNote. Right? That's interesting. Okay, that was all about startup page. Now, the next option is the users. So users also, you can use this right click option on the column, right click on the column and add all these options, right? If you want additional columns, you can add. And this is more useful when you have multi-session Windows 10 or Windows 11 devices, and you can check what are the processes running on each PCs or each user's login. So that's good. So that would be helpful for the troubleshooting. And over here, the command bar option got changed. You have an option to disconnect this user. You have an option to manage user accounts. You click on that, it will open up the settings menu, etc. Right? And if you click on that three dots, you can see you can easily open the file location. And if you want to find out what does this particular process, then you can just click on search online. That will search in the Bing that which this process is related to what, etc., etc. Right? That is what. The next one is details. So details is also provides all the details like process IDs, and all these things are very useful for the troubleshooting scenarios, right? And on the options, you can select columns. So there are a lot of columns over here. You can see uh, IO, say IO read by, write by, all those details, right? All the granular details you can see over here. So this would be very useful for the troubleshooting. At least I think most probably for developers, if they want to test how their application is performing as per their expectation or not, etc., etc. Okay, now let's go to the services, and I don't think there is any additional option, right click option over here for the context menu. Run new task is there, open services is there, and yeah, if you click on one of the service, you can see, you can check online which this particular service, what does this particular service, and you can get more details about the service. So that was I think there are 7 pages on the left navigation pane. The last one over here is the settings page. The settings page is useful if you want to kind of set your preferences. For example, by default, the processor, whenever you launch Task Manager, the processors processes page will get displayed automatically. You can change that. For example, if I select performance and close this and open the again or task manager again, you can see it got changed. It opened the performance. So that is the option over here. So I'm going to keep it as the default start page as processes, and then you can use all these settings, refresh things, right? How to refresh the processes. And this is also a useful option when I hide, yeah, when I minimize the taskbar, it will get automatically hidden. It will go hidden, right? You won't be able to see that in the taskbar. Okay, so that is very useful. And you have seen that option over here. This one, history, show full history, or show history of all the processes, right? Otherwise, it was showing only the store app details. The other one is full account name. So if I go to users, you can see my name is shown now. Previously, it was my user ID. Okay, so that is the difference for this. So that is the settings menu. Now let's go back to the processes and check some fun stuff. So you can see two status symbols over here. One is suspended. The photo application is terminated. Process is terminated or in post mode, so that the resource utilization you can see 000. So you don't have, and the power usage is also very low because it is kind of terminated and it is paused. That is why the yellowish pause symbol is there as a status icon, I would say. And some of the applications you can see two green leaves. That means that is in efficiency mode. So that particular application is in efficiency mode, and that helps to reduce the resources they use, even though it is not terminated. Even though it is not terminated, it is still working. This particular processes are still working, but with lower priority, etc. So if I can go over here and check what is happening, I need to expand this probably. And if I can click on this, you can see the options like efficiency mode. Some of the things you cannot disable efficiency mode for some of the applications. So for example, if I take the example of Microsoft Edge, I can remove this from the efficiency mode if I want, right? But that option was not there for the widgets application or process. So that is one thing you need to remember. I was thinking probably in future Microsoft will enable efficiency mode for most of the applications, and they will ask application developers also to use quality of service, which will help the developers to enable this feature for their applications. So for example, if I want to enable efficiency mode for power toy the power toys application, you can do it in two ways. One is right click, and from the context menu you can enable it efficiency mode, and you need to get this confirmed. Okay, and warning is there, and you need to be careful because it may have some issues, instability issues. It can cause some instability issues with your operating system, etc. So this is generic warning. I'm going to enable that, and you can see over here that two green leaves appeared over here in the status. That means efficiency mode is enabled for this, and you can check the priority of the resources also kind of moved to the lower priority. Whenever you change the efficiency mode or enable the efficiency mode, the priority of the processes will get also reduced, right? So this is good for the performance of the operating system, overall operating system, and this is helpful for the community as well, and for the IT pros as well in terms of troubleshooting and etc. Okay, and if you want to come out of, if you want to make disable, if you want to disable this efficiency mode, you can do it in the same way. Click on that particular process and click on this command bar and that will get removed. The efficiency icon, status icon got removed. That was efficiency and suspended mode, etc. We have covered almost everything, feel. And in the blog post, I have covered all these details. So I think we are good. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or you can use htmdforum.com. That is our forum where we go and answer your questions. So thank you all for watching. Hope this was helpful. See you next time. Bye bye.